states exams, and the last one, so the one that I'm going to take at the end of this year, is going to be oral and practical exam. You are going to get examined in 4 subjects: internal medicine, surgery, and subject of your choice. So in my case, dermatology, and another subject that you are going to get randomly, like it's going to be picked for you, and you get to know like in which subjects you're going to be examined in, like I think 2 to 3 weeks ahead. So that means it's not going to be that much time left for you to prepare for this 4th subject, but usually like our professors, they know that that is the case, and they are not going to ask very in-depth questions if that is your like 4th subject. But the thing is, although I always say that the first 2 years of medical school is really rough, but going from there, so if you pass the first states exam after the 4th semester, it's kind of getting much easier, I would say. And with the pandemic and a lot of the courses being held using Zoom, we also like didn't have to go to the campus, and therefore I felt like the past 2-3 years was pretty chill. Probably excluding the time, the 100-day studying period for the 2nd states exam that I passed last October. That was kind of rough period, but mainly because of the social isolation, because that was a time period that you're supposed to study roughly about 8 to 10 hours a day for 100 days straight. And during this time, you don't see a lot of your friends, obviously, and that kind of got to you at some point. So yeah, but other than that, I felt like studying during the year of our last year, I personally was not so disciplined for like a variety of reasons. One of the reasons is that I moved city, and I got to meet some new people. I think I told you guys about my 2 neighbors. Actually, I want to talk about this for a bit. So I now live in a student dormitory, crazy schedule. Their courses didn't take place for 2 years due to pandemic, because like I also don't know much details, but apparently in their studies they have to do a lot of the art exhibitions, or they need to go to the art studios to do their projects. And during the pandemic, the school just didn't allow all these activities to happen, so that she wasted 2 years, and now they have to catch up with everything. It's just one art exhibition after another, and they also need to do a lot of their excursions to many other cities in Germany, but also other countries in Europe. And also she had to move out of the dorm because in most dorms, I think in Germany, they have this rule that there are like limited years you are allowed to stay. And in her case, she already reached that point, and they already extended 1 year for her, due to special circumstances and everything. But I think at the end of this month she had to move out, so she basically moved out 2 days ago. And yesterday, like all three of us got together for the first time to grab dinner together. We went to a really nice Chinese place, and basically in China people share food, which means that you order like several dishes and place them at the center of the table, and you can each use chopsticks to get food from all three of the dishes. And so we ordered 3 different dishes and shared, and the food is really really good. And also we got to know each other a lot better. We talked about the feeling of not feeling to belong really anywhere in Germany, and we talk about the cities that we have been to, but it's kind of difficult for a foreigner to feel really at home in any cities in Germany. So not only in Germany, but in general in a foreign country, I guess. And I told them that for my job application, I applied for several hospitals across Germany, because it kind of didn't really matter to me which city I'm going to live and work. And they both said that it is the same for them. Obviously there are some cities that they liked better than others, but it's really hard to feel at home. And I told them that I'm kinda considering between pathology and gastroenterology or internal medicine in general as a career path, with the ups and downs in both subspecialties, I guess, but also with the working schedules. So it is very very common to work 12-hour shifts, at least in the university settings. skills, so it's not like a painting or illustration or even sculpture. It's art form that you can use everything you want to create an art piece. So she said, like, I was asking her if she is considering being a professor in her subject, like, you know, in Germany or in China, and she said that she has had to consider this option, because otherwise how is she going to make enough money to sustain herself? And we also talk about the possibilities of doing social media, and I told her, you know, there are several artists that I follow on YouTube or Instagram who would film their studio vlogs, who would post a lot of their art on Instagram. It's kinda must today that as an artist you kinda have to have a certain presence in the social media world, and once you have this following, it is much easier to get your work out. And she also pointed out that it is kind of hard, or much harder in her case, because, like, you know, she's not a painter or illustrator. If that's the case, that's, you know, much easier to just post her work online. But her work is modern art, I guess you could say, that also not a lot of people would buy, even if you did a very successful show. Yeah. So in general, I think we all have different kind of struggles in our late 20s, and we all talk about the possibilities of moving back to China. But like, for me, the problem is, if I go back to China, I have to do the very hard rotations all over again in China, and I have to study everything in Chinese again. And although it is not undoable, but it just feels like it requires so much effort. Whereas in Germany, you know, because I studied everything here, so I know the system, and also because in Germany the medical field is kind of like, once you finished med school, at least for now, you get a job very easily. And in China, it's kind of not the case, because it's much more competitive, because in China we don't really have the system of you know, family medicine or private clinics. Like, almost all the hospitals are somewhere affiliated to university hospital, or at least the hospitals that you are supposed to get into, and people all try to get into the best hospitals possible, and the competition is just really, really fierce. And nowadays professor, like basically same thing. Competition is fierce. But for Eva, so my other neighbor who is studying economics, she wants to get a job in a company that is close to her parents, which because of the economics today, it's also kind of difficult in China because a lot of people kind of just got laid off from their work because the economics is not doing super well. I personally or my family certainly didn't got influenced by that much because yeah, my parents both hold like very very stable jobs, plus they are also both at the age that they could go into retirement technically really soon, in 1 or 2 years, and I am almost done with my studies, so it's kind of not a tragic thing if for some reason they are forced to retire from their school or company. So my mom is a high school history teacher, and she has worked in her high school like her whole life basically, since she's 22 or 23, and she is now 51. Yes, she is 51 or 52 roundabout, and my dad is an engineer, and he works for a German Chinese joint venture, and like I never really understood what he does, but apparently their company is also doing really really well, so yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that nowadays a lot of people lose their jobs and they are trying to find jobs. Yeah, so she is also kind of debating if she wants to find a job here first or go back to China. She is not only she, like actually I think all of us, if in an ideal world and we were to find good job in China, then we would prefer to go back, just because all our families are there, and then you are around your people, and people just get you on a different level than here. Yeah, but yeah, that's that. And another thing is I kind of felt very like I definitely feel a little bit nervous the past few days because I did my pathology internship for 3 days in another uni clinic, and basically because I need to get my job application for that position ready, I also just finished my application for gastroenterology and sent two applications to different uni clinic the day before my trip, and one of the secretary, like I got an automatic reply that she is going to be in holiday and not in office until the 30th of May, research, which they do a lot of research on hepatitis and different types of cancer, in the GI tract, but specifically in the liver. So I don't know if he is going to ask me like in which group I want to go into. I also want to ask him if they have a project for clinician scientists. So basically position where they guarantee certain period of time per week or per month that you don't have to work in the clinic, or you don't need to treat patients, but you can focus on your own research, which would be really nice, because as I said, otherwise it's kind of a norm here that you work 12-hour shifts in university hospitals. So I kind of expected that my application would look good, but I also feel like the imposter syndrome, because I told you guys before, I don't think I belong to the top students in medical school. Like, I definitely get by, but there are so many people who are more driven and dedicated to this. I would say, I think my strength is I am very interested. I really love what I do, and I think I am good with communicating with the patients and colleagues alike. But if we just talk about, the knowledge aspect, I do not think I stand out that much. However, it looks good on my application because I have several publications already, but that's because that, first of all, I got really lucky with my doctorate thesis. Like, my direct supervisor is such a down-to-earth but good like scientist, so I kind of really got a lot of help and advices from her, and it makes me sometimes think that I don't know, with our paper, how much is her work, how much is my work, like, the percentage, I'm not sure. Whereas I have a lot of friends, they get little to no help during their thesis, but at least at the end of the day you can say that, okay, I did this all by myself, which, by the way, is not the way it's supposed to be, especially because we as medical students didn't get the systematic training as other science subjects. Like, if you studied biology or neuroscience or chemistry, you name it, in your bachelor's degree, they can have a lot of courses to teach you how to do research systematically, like all the steps that you need to consider, and the basic methods you use in the lab and everything. And for us, we don't have courses like that at all, so it's basically just go into the lab and you need to learn from your supervisors and your other lab mates. And yeah, so but I know that my application would look good, but I just have the feeling that he would expect much more from me than my real capability. I know it's kind of normal, especially in medicine, to feel also write in your application to make yourself look good, to secure the job at first. And once you are in the field, there are so many things you need to catch up on the job, and it's going to be hard, but you just need to get through it, and you need to grow with your responsibilities. I guess that's what I'm going to say. So I just want to calm myself down and don't worry too much. And also lately there are several I guess, how do I say it, there are people getting very sick, or even pass away in not in my immediate friend groups, but their relatives, which also put a lot of things into perspectives, I guess. I know this for a very long time, that there are so many external things, and there are so many things that people expect you, or you expect yourself to get to certain places with your career, and at the end of the day, health is the most important thing, and you only have a limited time on earth, and with so many hobbies and so many possible things that you could use your time doing, it's not worth it to only think about getting further in your career. At least that's what I think. And then there's other part of me that are afraid of not performing well, too, that other people would think that I'm dumb. I think it's normal to have, those kind of contradicting thoughts in your mind, and it's like, not a big deal. And anyways, I actually need to be studying and preparing for my last state exam, because although it seems like we still have a lot of time left, but in the reality, time goes by much faster than you think. And also I gonna work till the end of September, so during usual work days it's really hard to get the motivation to study after that, and therefore I gonna need to be very disciplined for the next half year, I guess. Yeah. I hope this video is relaxing, and honestly I don't know how many people watch my videos in English. I kinda got this feeling that most people are German speakers anyways and prefer me to do German videos, but I guess, if you also speak several languages, sometimes you got this feeling for certain subjects, or on certain days you want to express yourself in a certain language. So yeah, so there is basically no real reason behind why I do one video in English and another in German. It's just basically based on my mood. But yeah, anyways, I think this video is super long already, so I hope it relaxes you.